The story begins with a girl named Lisa, who is waiting for someone at the airport. Outside, Bait is also waiting for someone. Actually, both are waiting for each other, but they do not know that they are nearby. When Lisa looks outside, she sees Bait. She immediately goes to him and says sorry for coming late, but he does not agree, gets angry, and sits in a taxi. We also see a map in his hand, through which he plans to explore some places in the coming days and try his best to make that time special. Lisa, however, gets upset because of Bait's anger. He is not talking to her at all and just keeps sitting quietly. Both stop at a car rental shop, where Bait rents a car. After some time, he gives her an engagement ring. He was actually proposing to her, but in a very rude way. That's why Lisa does not reply and leaves the ring there. Lisa was actually waiting for a good opportunity to cool down her anger and say yes. Then, both go on a drive. Here, Bait turns on the GPS because both of them are new to the city and do not know much about the place. Lisa starts recording everything, but Bait is still angry and does not answer much. After this, they go to the beach, where Lisa takes a lot of selfies. Finally, she apologizes to Bait and tells him that she loves him very much. She asks him to let go of his anger because he is going to join the army in 2 weeks, after which he will be away for years. Bait also feels that her words are right. He smiles, and then both of them start spending good moments together. However, a starfish bites Bait's leg, causing a big wound. Bait ignores it, although Lisa insists that he should see a doctor. He believes it will heal on its own. Now, it becomes night, and both of them spend the entire night in their car, as Bait had planned. Here, Lisa shows him a photo of her dream place, a destination she always wanted to visit. However, the place is not as beautiful as it looked in the picture. Bait knows this very well, so he refuses. But Lisa insists, saying that since they have come this far, they can visit it too, and it would make her very happy. Bait starts thinking about what he should do. After a long time, he agrees to go. He puts the location of the place into his phone. It is 35 hours away, which means they have to cover a very long distance. Both of them set off on the journey. On the way, they make some rules. To follow only the GPS route, not to take any shortcuts, and to use public phones to save the battery on their phones. Bait insists on these rules because he doesn't know much about the place. Lisa tells him more about it, including how there are many kangaroos and other things there. After driving the entire day, they spend the night at a hotel. The next morning, they set out on the journey again. As soon as they reach the outback road, their network stops working, which Bait had anticipated. That is why he turned on the GPS earlier. After driving for some distance, Lisa notices a dead kangaroo, possibly hunted by a wild animal. After going a little further, their GPS resets and tells them to take a U-turn ahead, but they do not notice it and keep driving along the same path. After some time, they reach a place with a ravine and nothing but sand and mountains far and wide. Bait looks at the GPS and stops the car when it again tells them to take a U-turn. Lisa tells him they should go back. Actually, Lisa had fallen asleep earlier, which is why they ended up ahead of the turn. Bait thinks they might have taken a shortcut, which is why the GPS is showing this route. He decides to keep moving forward. He starts the car again, but the GPS continues to direct them to take the same U-turn. This worries Bait. He steps out of the car, hoping to see something outside, but there is nothing in sight except sand and mountains. He even sees a snake, which causes him to scream. Lisa immediately tells him to come back inside. After a long time, both decide to park the car and move forward on foot, hoping to find a higher place from which they might spot a village or a road. They follow through with their plan and start walking, but it takes much longer than expected. Nothing is visible, and it has become dark too, so Lisa says they should go back to their car. However, by the time they reach the spot, they realize that their car is not there. This is because they had lost their way. From here, the real plot of the story starts. In this dark night, they have no idea where to go. Bait begins to feel some pain in the same leg where the starfish had bitten him. The wound is worsening, and nobody knows how much worse it will get with time. One thing is certain, from this point onwards, the journey is going to be very painful for Bait. Lisa gives him water and tells him to stay there since he is unable to walk, but Bait insists that they must find their car quickly because they are also running out of food. Eventually, both of them fall asleep there, but the cold becomes unbearable at night. They stick close to each other to endure the cold and somehow manage to sleep. The next day, when Bait wakes up, he realizes that his legs are not moving. Lisa tries her best to help him stand so they can move forward, but nothing works. Now lost in the desert, finding help seems nearly impossible. They prepare to spend another night in the open desert, where thousands of wild animals could be lurking. Before sleeping, Lisa asks Bait to marry her. He says yes, assuring her that he would marry her under any condition because he loves her deeply. That night, while they are in a trance-like sleep, a scorpion climbs onto Lisa's body. She is unaffected because she is in a deep sleep. The next morning, Bait wakes up first and is shocked to see that Lisa's entire body has turned pale white and she is not opening her eyes. The scorpion had bitten her during the night, causing her condition. Bait becomes frantic, calling out to her to wake up, but she does not respond. He has no water to help revive her. Somehow, he gathers the strength to move forward, limping. At times, he carries Lisa on his shoulder, and at other times, he drags her, but he does not leave her behind. At one point, he collapses, having no strength left to continue. Lisa remains unconscious. Then Bait hears a sound. Looking up, he sees a plane flying overhead. He waves his shirt to signal it, but it is of no use because the plane is too high and the people inside cannot see him. Realizing he needs to leave a signal, Bait uses nearby stones to create an SOS sign, hoping someone will notice it. His condition continues to worsen, and he is in desperate need of water. With no other option, he drinks his urine. Without a bottle, he pours it into his hands to drink. Determined not to repeat his mistakes, he takes a stick and begins marking a line in the sand as he moves forward, so he can remember his way back. The sun blazes above, but his determination keeps him going. After some distance, he finds Lisa's bag, inside which there is a bottle. He uses it to store his urine, taking a sip to hydrate himself and saving the rest for Lisa. Meanwhile, Lisa regains consciousness, but is unable to move her right hand. She discovers a wound from the scorpion bite. Lisa becomes terrified when she does not see Bait around. She calls out for him, shouting, but it is in vain. If she had walked a little further, she might have seen the SOS sign and realized that Bait was nearby and would return. Instead, she makes a grave mistake by moving forward without waiting for him. Both of them are now wandering separately, trying to find each other. Night falls as they continue searching. Bait follows the line he marked in the sand and returns to the place where they had rested earlier. But Lisa is no longer there. Already distressed, Bait becomes even more upset after realizing Lisa is gone. Both call out for each other, but at such places, it is crucial to stay together. If separation is unavoidable, one must inform the other beforehand, especially when energy and resources are limited. Lisa's face turns completely pale due to dehydration. Out of desperation, she begins eating from a nearby tree, forgetting that this is a desert, not a jungle. She does not know which plants are safe and which are dangerous. Meanwhile, Bait's mental condition deteriorates further. He drinks his urine again and continues his search for Lisa, unsure of where to go. Eventually, Bait stumbles upon his car. He is very happy to find it. He immediately goes inside and starts looking for some food, but he finds only a lighter, which is of no use at the moment. He tries to start the car but remembers that when he left it, its lights were on, leaving the battery completely dead. Desperate for water, he considers drinking the car's wiper fluid. He opens the car's bonnet and drinks it with great difficulty. However, this fluid contains a form of petrol, which can be lethal if consumed. At this moment, Bait is consumed by his thirst and drinks all of it. This causes him to vomit and experience intense stomach pain, but he continues drinking it. He then urinates and saves it for Lisa, hoping it might help her survive. This act demonstrates the lengths a man will go to for the woman he loves. What do you think? Did Bait do the right thing by doing this? Late that night, both of them continue wandering in search of each other. They find nothing but darkness and freezing cold. Meanwhile, Lisa remembers that there is some battery left in her phone. She records a message for Bait, apologizing for everything because it was her decision that led them into this situation. She acknowledges that Bait had wanted to take her somewhere else. In the video, she wishes him a good life, convinced she will not survive. Bait's condition worsens as he continues vomiting. By morning, Lisa notices that she is lying on a line marked in the sand. She realizes that this must have been Bait's doing. Following the line, she finally finds him lying motionless. She rushes to him but finds his condition critical, and he is on the verge of death. Even in his final moments, Bait assures Lisa that everything is his fault and not hers. However, Lisa insists that nothing has changed and everything will be fine. Bait repeatedly gives her a saved urine to drink, knowing she must be thirsty. Lisa is initially confused but eventually understands his actions. Tragically, Bait dies in her arms before she can process everything. They had started this journey with laughter, and now it ends in heartbreak. Lisa cannot believe what has happened but must accept it as her reality. She rises and continues moving forward to save herself. Consuming Bait's saved urine, she eventually reaches their car. There, she takes Bait's engagement ring. While inside the car, she encounters a poisonous snake. Using her wits, she escapes the car and locks the door, ensuring her safety. She then wears Bait's ring, treasuring it as the only thing that will forever remind her of him. He sacrificed his life to save hers. Lisa spends another night lying there. The next morning, a miracle occurs. An old woman arrives, having noticed the SOS sign left by Bait. Initially, Lisa mistakes her for bait, but soon realizes the truth. The old woman gives her water, saving her life. Finally, it is revealed that Bate's body was retrieved and sent back to America. His post-mortem report confirmed that he had died from drinking the wiper fluid, a sacrifice he made solely to ensure Lisa's survival. With this, the story ends. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.